drawing on your benches. You don't know this stuff, but if you find a backstop destroyed, a bench is written on, you're gonna come back to these guys. You start giving permits to everybody, then you don't know who's accountable. Number two, Jim,
Yeah.
it's a common fact that's happened elsewhere. When you start helping the independent kids from leaving, then you're gonna get more and more, and the leagues are gonna suffer from it. And then you're not gonna have the leagues, Jim. And the gym, and the leagues are your feeder system for everything.
I understand, being involved in baseball for years, the dynamics of what it does. And for years, we have talked about this, because we've had other groups, especially baseball groups, that come in, and we've haggled this way before Barry came, and when Frank was here with soccer. The bottom line, we try our damnedest to stay out of the politics of all the stuff.
And the personalities.
The personalities, there are reasons why they left, that has nothing to do with it.
And can I just say this, the permit that they're looking for was for 6 weeks, 1 day, Sundays, for a 2-hour time frame. It's not like it's gonna be a whole summer, and, I mean,
Well,
for 6 weeks.
we all know come June, they're off on tournaments anyway, so they're not
Correct.
even here in the summer, we all know
But
that.
I'm just trying to throw that out there so everyone knows, it's potentially 5 weeks.
Yeah,
Thank you. My name is Scott Farrier. I'm sorry for being late. I'm a Stone coach and a 12U director for the Somerset Berkeley Softball League. And I think everybody here agrees that it's supposedly all about the girls, and that's how it's supposed to be. The league that we have is a recreation league. It's for all the girls in Somerset and Berkeley. And we don't say no to anybody. It's not an elite team, it's not a travel team, there are no tryouts. You wanna show up, you register, and you play. Part of registering is paying a $100 fee. Part of that fee is to pay for our uniforms, pay for the umpires, and pay for the upkeep of the fields. Pay to bring in dirt every year, pay for new bases, pay for new
I
rubbers,
don't think you bring them dirt.
pay for line, pay for field
No,
dry.
it's not self-complex, really?
Well, they have a special
Yeah,
blend.
pay for the scoreboard, pay for the upkeep of the complex for our girls, for the enjoyment of the girls. They
Take
all
care of
can
the
play.
trash, we take care of the bathrooms.
Everything.
And stock those bathrooms.
When we start allowing these other teams to use the field, we just ran into the same problem in Berkeley, same thing. We take care of the fields in Berkeley. We show up on a Sunday for practice, there's a men's league playing. So what do?
Base
They don't
boxes
have
got broken.
everything. They destroy the base boxes, rip out the mound every week. So what do? So we go to the superintendent who's in charge of the field permits. He finally comes down and tells the guys, if you wanna play here, you've gotta pay $50 an hour, and you have to share in the cost of the maintenance of the field. At least that's fair. They're doing something. If you just let them in, as he said, so next week when the men's team comes down and says, well, we wanna use it Sunday nights from 5 to 9. That's all right? Well, that gets even worse. It just keeps growing and growing. The fields are there for the girls, for all the girls to use. Those girls that have left for whatever reason, and they haven't all left, 6 of them are still in the league. So we never said no to anybody. We never said get out of our league. They chose to leave, as you said, for whatever reason. I don't care for whatever reason. I could care less. They chose to leave. Now, 6 of them signed back up for our rec league, and we took them back with open arms. Great, you should be playing it. You live in Somerset, you go to Somerset schools, you live in Berkeley, you go to Berkeley schools, you should be playing with your classmates and your friends. That's how it should be. It's about the girls. But to allow them to use the fields that our girls pay for, in that we,
No, you don't pay for them, the town pays for them. They're
that our
taxpayers,
girls, right,
just like
I
you
understand that. But we paid the $100, we pay for the bases, pay for the rubbers, pay for all of the upkeep of the fields.
No,
Pay for
We paid for the rubbers and everything.
No, we never got them.
We never got them, we bought our own rubbers. I went to Fiesco's and spent $375.
We spent $323 on them, and
Got a
they're
better
down,
deal.
They're downstairs, we
Yeah.
ordered them and.
you ordered them, and they're
Never
down
told
at the
you.
highway
They never came in,
department.
Richie.
I know they
They're
didn't come in on
downstairs.
time.
They never came in
They
on
came
time.
in, we
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
I know, we
They
ordered
coming up
them because
in
we signed the
never
bill to
came
What I'm
pay
saying
for
is,
them.
but you saw them,
take-
Steve.
Yes.
Okay, so
You
don't
take
say we
They
didn't.
never came in on
We got
time,
'em.
so the league went out and replaced them so the girls.
No, but I'm saying,
Right.
the only reason I'm objecting to what you said is because I signed one of the bills that
Yeah.
said.
Well, the only reason I said that is because I went to Fiesco's and bought them myself, and paid for them
I'm
myself.
not arguing
for
that,
our
I'm just
opening
saying.
day. Right.
When Steve told us about
Yeah.
it, we said that we would pay for them, we ordered them, we signed, and I was one of the people who signed the bill, so I know we
My
ordered
point is,
them.
And we know and we appreciate it, but it was just too late. We couldn't wait any longer. We had to replace one plate. It was non-existent.
Okay,
but fair is fair. We take our time, we spend weekends there in April getting the field ready to play. When the fence needs to be fixed, when the batting cages need to be fixed, we take care of all that stuff. All we're saying is it's not fair to allow other people just to come in and use it. There's no, there's no reason for them not to
But
be able
it's
to
not
be able to.
other people. You're
Sure.
talking about kids, taxpayers from the town, that they're entitled, just like you are, to play there.
What's the number on your permitting for the amount of
Could I just
Somerset
add-
girls like you stated?
I'm a taxpayer in town. Am I
Yeah.
entitled to go to the middle school and start playing pickup basketball tonight?
No,
Why?
That's school
you have to go to
School
school
department's
about
got
it.
nothing
Wrong
to do with us.
meeting.
This, Mr. Chairman, this is the Playground and Recreation Commission. We have 7 sites, okay? We take care of playgrounds and recreational activities. We happen to have the permitting process for O'Neill Field, Leahy Park,
I get all that.
AMVets. Well, I just want, in case anybody else doesn't know that, because they're getting thrown under the bus here because we don't have a recreation maintenance staff. We appreciate, the board appreciates any help that any group uses. We give permits out to people who are not part of a league, like we did today with airtime.
But would you say
But I'm-
it would be fair if they helped in
And
maintaining the field?
the thing is, they said they would.
Oh,
They said they would. They were gonna provide their own bases, which we asked them to do, also to rake out the area after they were done and pick up the trash. That's right on the permit. And if after Sunday,
Are they gonna be paying for the trash? Because I know the leagues pay for their trash disposal. Is that correct, Chris?
well, we haven't gotten the bill yet, but
Wait, no, we.
No, but you have told me
they pay for it.
Whoa, relax.
But the thing
We'll get
is,
that.
the thing is, that's not part, that was not part of the agreement for the trash, okay? If the board wants me to add that to, as a condition for the trash, we're talking about 2 hours on a Sunday morning, okay? And,
But
and
you
the-
kick out
and-
recreation, it seems like.
no, we're not kicking anybody off. It was a mistake.
Okay.
It was a mistake.
So the
'Cause I
permits,
looked-
they're not
Steve,
valid? I'm just asking, are they still
Hold
valid?
on, Steve, just let the man finish, and we'll go there.
The field is split up into 10 and under and 12 and under, as you know. I looked at the permit and I saw there was no one there on Sundays. But on Sundays, Somerset Independent Girls Softball, Somerset Berkeley Independent Softball has the field from 10 to 5, 6 hours. Are they using all 6 hours on every Sunday?
If we have makeups or practices,
Are they using
I
it
think that
every
goes by
Sunday?
week by week, I mean.
Okay,
but-
so this is
Like-
something I think with the board, if you wanna do, is, again, for the 4th time in my 3 years, we'll look at the permitting process, because it's a situation where I think if you're putting a permit application in for a field from 8 in the morning to 8 at night, and that's 12 hours, and you're not using it just in case it rains, we gotta have a block of time. So I'll do whatever the board wants me to do, and I've done this 3 other times, and we sat in these meetings to do it. Okay, it's part of the permitting process. It's changed each time. So if we wanna look at it and say, okay, if they wanna practice on that Sunday morning from 9 to 11, would you be amenable to start at 11, just to get through these now 5 weeks? Would the softball group be amenable to letting it go till starting your practices, your permit 11, just to revise it?
I think that's-
And then we evaluate it after that spring season.
Don't you guys have a tournament coming up?
Yeah, yeah.
Or they already know that tournament, they won't be using the field. Like,
But I think
they
there's
had a-
also some legalities that I
Marcel,
privy to some information today
For the
that may
spring
affect.
season, 10% of non-resident.
That Brian is a
may
member
be
of-
on the
have
team.
a field.
Brian is a member of the
For
BAA board.
The summer season,
This is not the BAA.
I understand
25%
that. Brian, I
of
said
They have
Brian,
non-residents
paid the
may
BAA
be in the
to play
team
at
or
Main
organization.
Street
And for
Complex.
the fall season,
So they have that field available,
Well,
we
don't you
should
play
go
for
49-51.
and we paid for that field.
Oh,
9 out of
You're
11.
getting into the politics of your little groups
No, no, no.
and their,
For
no,
this
no,
season, for spring.
and their little
Changes
group.
each season.
We don't wanna do the
They only want it
politics.
5 weeks.
You're not getting, yeah, it is.
What?
Because you're saying, well, they're playing,
Just
they're
ask
playing.
them.
Don't care where they play.
We've got 150 girls.
That's great.
that we need-
Congratulations.
That we need fields.
They got 11, 9 are from Somerset. How do you wanna do this?
And next year, that number's gonna change.
Join the rec league.
And I'm being honest,
No, that's
and I'm being
right.
honest.
We're not
And,
arguing that.
and that's what's
And that's
happened.
fine. Then when them numbers go up and it exceeds the, criteria, they lose out, then they gotta pay for it. Very simple. Matt?
Can I ask a
Just
question?
one.
Say, Jim, that, you know, for 20 years, I've been on the board of directors of Little League, and nobody in this town has put more money into a youth program than the Somerset Little League.
Right.
I mean, we put, probably since I've been on the board, $100,000 into the fields. And we knew we did it at our own peril. We do not own those fields, the town owns those fields. In fact, you guys wouldn't give us permits ever on a Sunday. That was an unwritten rule. You couldn't, because the fields had to be open for everybody else in town.
That's correct.
And quite frankly, that's the mistake you made. You never should have gave permits on a Sunday.
Well-
And I realize why,
Yeah.
because the amount of fields has gradually, not,
It has.
they decreased for a while. You had Pottersville that was closed for a year. You had a field in, the Little League field that was closed for a year while I was on the board. But we did all that stuff at our own peril. We put thousands of dollars into the scoring decks. They busted them up. Vandalized, busted them up. Same with the scoreboards. Same with everything else down there that we did. The batting cage, destroyed, and we had to put more money into it. And we're still putting more money at our peril. We got $55,000 for the CPA funds. Our board's committed $25,000 to something we don't even own. We don't own those fields, and we do it at our own peril. And that's the way it's always been. And if another league came in that wanted to use the fields, we don't have any. What say do we have? We don't own the fields. They made it very clear to us, we couldn't do anything to the clubhouse. We had to get special permission when we put, by the way, $12,000 into rebuilding the clubhouse, the roofing, the siding, and everything else. That was league money that we raised, you know, that I personally raised $8,000 of it to rebuild that clubhouse. But it had no money to, Richie, you wanna comment on that?
I raised 12,000 to put the second floor on.
Right.
$12,500 to
For
be
the
exact.
league.
Yes.
And we don't own the building.
No,
It doesn't
when I was
own the town owns
president,
the building.
the 17 years I was president, I raised it, so
We
I know what you're saying.
started permitting on Sundays because of
The amount of kids.
The
the amount of
demand.
kids, the amount of demand, and because it was just getting ugly.
Absolutely.
And now we just started permitting, and Chris can tell you that we started permitting practices because of
We wanna know who are on the field.
who's on the field. It comes down to liability. Bottom
Well, if
line,
you just
it's
leave it with
all
the leagues, you know
liability.
who's there.
Oh, no.
No.
No,
Liability.
that's not true.
And
Most
I-
cities and towns, and I can speak from a vast experience, North Providence, Cranston, and Narragansett, I'll pay the $3 later, okay?
Okay, write it down.
Those leagues, those cities and towns, in Rhode Island, along with other places, the fields are owned by the city. Most cities and towns, the fields are on unbuildable lots, that's why they give them to recreation leagues. You've got wetlands at South Complex, you got wetlands at Ashton, you got wetlands at O'Neill Field. That's why they deem it for recreational purposes. Let the towns do it for recreation. So what happens is, the facilities are run by the town.
I understand
All
that.
the amenities are from the town.
But if you let the league maintain it and run
Okay,
it for the
Brian,
recreational division.
What's gonna happen, and this happens, Don, you could tell this, Matt will tell you this. You're here for a designated time of 4 or 5 years. How many league presidents have you had in the past 8 years? People come and go,
Of course they do.
and things change. But the things that doesn't change is the town of Somerset. Okay, in the town of Somerset, or Berkeley, town of Berkeley, they have that niche. And that's who's the one that insures those facilities. Those facilities are insured by the town.
And I understand that, and over the past 8 years, or even more than that, the Somerset Independent Softball League, and now the Somerset Berkeley Softball League, has maintained those fields for all of those years. And we wanna continue to be able to do that.
And we
I
appreciate that.
mean, we put our heart and souls in, we were in the pouring rain having a field day to get them ready for opening day. I mean,
Okay, I would like to ask a question. Chris, are your fields being used on Sunday mornings from, 9 to 11?
Actually, I pulled the permits, and I tried to avoid Sundays, keeping with actually tradition for myself.
I'm just wondering, no, I'm
no.
just questioning because
So I don't have
off
the
the top of
permits
my
right
head,
in
I
front
can't
of me.
remember.
But I think, I kinda asked my coaches to avoid the Sundays, I just
We do
respecting
practice
the
Sunday
day.
Somebody's out there
In
on
the
Sunday all day,
afternoon.
he's got to go in there all day.
I saw a team
Oh.
over on the Babe
Why
Ruth
do you
field
ask
the
me?
other day too.
No, I'm just
Sometimes
asking,
he's
it's a
breaking
little-
the field out at 9 AM on Sunday.
I know.
This has become such an argument,
So,
you know, for the last 45 minutes. Maybe we should try to find another place for this team. I mean, there's Somerset kids
well, can we
and,
go to
no, no,
Ashton?
no.
Can we go to Ashton?
They
No,
use them on,
because-
they use them on Sundays.
Well, that's the other
Because they
thing.
can't, they can't play ball until June 1st because of, but on weekends, because the high school, that MIA rule, so the Saturdays and Sundays, they,
8 in the morning to 8 at night.
They practice.
Ooh,
2 hours.
Ashton.
Ashton,
is O'Neill available?
not
No,
right
it's
now.
not fixed, it's not even
Gotcha,
done
it's
yet.
like a swamp land.
Yeah.
If I could, and I just got a few questions, just so I can get them clear from the GAA, is, I believe they entered into an agreement, a verbal or contractual agreement with the BAA to rent their fields up at Anthony Street.
Right.
From you guys, at the cost of $1,500. And that's now for the 3 independent leagues they have, the 12s, the 14s, and 16s, for their organization. their
Berkeley
independent
Independent
organization.
Athletic Association.
I don't understand, could you explain that to me? I don't know.
What's that gonna do with us?
Well, they paid,
They paid the BAA $1,500 to use
Ooh.
the field.
So?
So they,
well, but they only paid half.
they will only pay.
So they owe him half, and the BAA is saying, well, if we know that here as a board, and we're gonna undercut the BAA by saying we can get those fields for free, they're pushing it here, because they're an independent
No,
organization.
hold on, stop. We are not getting involved in the politics of who's paying
this is
their.
not- this is the legality, Mr.
No,
Chair.
that's up to them. That has nothing to do with us. We're not gonna get, oh, you owe them money. They can go wherever they want. If they wanna pay to play somewhere else, they can, just like you can.
No, just.
No one's stopping you to go play anywhere you wanna
We
play.
have permits we have permits for the minor league field and the major league field on Sundays for Somerset baseball for spring season from 8 AM to 2 PM.
Yeah, so it's.
On Sundays?
Yeah.
But you said, you just said it's not being
to
used.
them,
They
where are
practice
they?
later?
Why aren't they here?
Excuse me?
Why
What-
why would they be here?
Why not? It's on the agenda.
No, it's
That's
not.
why we're all here.
No, it's not on the
No.
agenda,
They-
sir.
They had,
It's just field permits for everything.
Says
No,
field
it's not.
permits for
That's
South.
what we're talking about.
No, that was for something else. That was for other organizations putting in permits.
Commissioner Bowen brought it up. It-
I need to go. I just think you're making a big mistake with the history of this organization by giving them permits for the
What do
fields.
you mean by the history, Marcel?
Well, we don't want to get into that.
We
Hey,
don't,
I-
we
I-
don't get into
Jimmy,
politics at all.
Jimmy, you know, listening to everything you do and how you do your permit process, I
Yep.
mean, and good for you guys, you do something different than most towns, because most towns, whether it's Dayton, Berkeley, Seekonk, Attleboro, they give the recreation leagues, get the fields, they give it to them as a permit, some of them charge, you're right, Plainville pays $2,500 a year to use
Yep.
their it's there, that's it, they pay their fee and they're responsible for it. I think, guys, Brian, one of the big things that I found out tonight, and I'm listening to, this young lady just said it out, is the only thing that protects the fields from being used is by the quotas that they have for how many Somerset kids are gonna use the fields. And, if they're a true rebel organization, and they're gonna keep going out, and they're gonna try to get better and better as they get older, they're not gonna keep all these Somerset kids, they're gonna end up with kids from other towns, and they're gonna fall under that 10%. If they ever lie and they get caught doing it, and you guys find out, you report it to these guys, and they'll never get another permit in this town again. So that, I think, you're not gonna be able to beat the system they have because of the way they do their permit process.
So do they supply a roster for a single team?
Yes, it
Or-
is, just like
Yeah,
everybody else
Hold on,
does.
hold on, can I finish?
Sure, go ahead.
A single team or for all of their teams?
It's one team.
One team.
team.
One
They
team,
submit a roster.
11
So Brian,
kids.
if you- Brian, if
It's
you drive by,
17.
and you drive by, and I know they have three, I think they have 3 teams now, I think they've lost a few. But if you drive by and you see one of the other teams there, then I suggest